Okay, see here, currently in India, if you add up, there are 30 plus smartphone brands. And this year we have tried about 80 smartphones. That's like almost 7 smartphones a month. Big number. And when you try so many smartphones, you can see some good smartphones, some bad smartphones, and some meh smartphones. So based on 2022, here's how we would rank smartphone brands, and as a customer, it helps you guys to make better decisions while buying a phone. And just to make it easier for you, we'll be rating these in tiers. I love this. Good for the best, very solid for really good smartphone brands, did the job for smartphone companies that did expected work, and all the way to, you know it, I know it, for smartphone brands that should really improve in 2023. Let's start with the first brand, Motorola. Last year they were in the very solid tier, but this year 2022 has been a comeback year for Motorola. They started off the year with the launch of Moto Edge 30 Pro, the first phone in India with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and also the cheapest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 phone. And the most popular Motorola phone was Moto Edge 30. But I think the best bet that worked for Motorola was, number one, we'll give the best hardware at the price, like under 25,000, best display you can get, Moto Edge 30 with 10-bit OLED and Snapdragon 778G Plus. Same, at 20,000, best processor you can get, best display you can get, OIS, it was Moto G82. That was the story with all the Motorola phones. Number two, 5G bands. Motorola was the only phone manufacturer to give 10 plus 5G bands in all of their 5G phones. Also, the Moto Edge 30 Ultra was a phone with really good 200 megapixel camera and showed that Motorola can also make good camera phones. I think updates are the situation where Motorola should work on, like the Android 13 release date, it's still not clear for Motorola phones. But just based on the sheer comeback and quality of launches of Motorola phones, I would move Motorola up to the GOAT tier. I mean, the overall performance across different phones has been really well in 2022. Hopefully it continues in 2023. Next up, we have Realme. Now, in my opinion, Realme did two things right this year. Number one, 5G. Realme launched a lot of 5G phones and in fact even converted the Realme 9 number series, Narzo series to 5G. So that 5G phone had a huge impact on Realme, and as you would know, 5G sold in 2022. Number two, sales discount. Hands down, Realme phones, apart from iPhone, had the best discounts in sales. Realme 9 Pro Plus sold for under 19,000, down from 23,000, and a lot of Realme smartphones. Also, they did launch good phones like Realme 9 Pro Plus, which had OIS. It was useful in camera and everyone liked it. That's the other thing, that they removed it from the recent Realme 10 Pro Plus. Also, Realme UI was quick on updates, but they had a lot of bloatware and ads starting now. I hope Realme fixes that, but for the year 2022, Realme did an expected job. Was good Realme 9 series phone, good sales discount, nothing mind-blowing, so I would put Realme in did the job tier. Next up is Samsung, and I think this is going to be a bit controversial. And you might feel Samsung has to be the GOAT this year. Well, when you say Samsung smartphones, it includes Samsung Budget, Samsung Mid-Range and Samsung Flagship series. Now, no doubt, Samsung S22 series was pretty good. Samsung S22 Ultra had one of the best cameras this year. Samsung not only promised 4 years of software updates, the highest on any Android phone, but even delivered it. To just give you an idea, all Samsung Budget, Mid-Range and Flagship phones have received Android 13 updates within November and by the end of December. Now, apart from all the good things, the Samsung A series launch this year has been meh. The A53 and A73 were pretty minor upgrade and was priced high. And let's not talk about the Samsung M and F series on a budget. Like recently, Samsung silently launched Samsung A04 and Samsung M04. These are budget Samsung phones with 720p TFT display, MediaTek G35 at 11,999. So while the flagships and software were really good, the budget and mid-range phones could have been better. So it deserves a very solid tier. The flagship and software updates were very good. Next up, we have Vivo. Now, Vivo is an offline plus online brand. We tried Vivo's flagship, Vivo X80 Pro, Vivo X80. Those are definitely good phones. People expect these Vivo phones to have really good cameras, and they do. Like, if I have to recommend anything besides Samsung and Apple, I would recommend Vivo phones for camera. And this year, FunTouch OS also did a good job. Android 13 update for Vivo X and a few Vivo series have already arrived. But where Vivo lagged is budget and mid-range series. The budget phones like Vivo T1, Vivo T1 Pro, first of all, they were exact rebrand of iQOO phones, and it's not like offline-online scene. Both iQOO and Vivo T series are online smartphones. So overall, I would say quite expected work. You expect Vivo to make good camera flagships, done. You expect Vivo to have a slightly premium mid-range, done. So Vivo goes to did the job tier. Nothing wow or nothing unexpected. Now, similarly like Vivo, Oppo is also an offline brand. They do sell phones online and offline, mostly better offers offline. Flagship Oppo Reno series this year wasn't that much of an upgrade. Oppo phones, slightly premium but better built. On the other hand, they did a lot of work on ColorOS 13. Now for people who don't know, Oppo's ColorOS is what you get on Realme and OnePlus phone. That is Realme UI and Oxygen OS. So most of the features stability is decided by Oppo's ColorOS. But again, overall not so good, not so bad, expected work, so did the job tier. Talking about good work, another company which performed well consistently was iQOO. iQOO Neo 6 is one of the best phones to recommend under 30,000, and not just that, every iQOO phone was good in performance and also had a really good camera at every price. Kudos to Vivo for that. Also, iQOO recently dropped Android 13 update to iQOO 9 series, iQOO 7 and iQOO Z series. And somewhere iQOO has emerged as that flagship killer in that 40-50k price segment. If only the OS would be a bit better. FunTouch OS has improved quite a lot, still a long way to go, but the ads were minimal, not as bad as Realme. So iQOO deserves the very solid spot, same as last year. Coming to finally, OnePlus. Now 2021 was the whole era when OnePlus switched to ColorOS, and the entire year was noted as rest in peace Oxygen OS. However, things got a bit bad this year. OnePlus actually started rebranding Realme phones. Of course, you get Oxygen OS, which is actually ColorOS, which is actually also Realme UI. Confusing. And the major thing, Nord 2 Blast. About 6 different cases of Nord 2 Blast came out up until April 2022, and that was scary. The only good OnePlus launch this year was OnePlus 9 RT. Rest, it was either rebranded or too expensive phones. I would hate this, but OnePlus is the first entry to the you know it, I know it tier. Now, the iPhone 14, in my opinion, wasn't the best Apple release in a long time. Apple also killed the iPhone mini series due to low sales, but iPhone 14 Pro continued to be the best iPhone ever. You had the dynamic island, which seemed very innovative at launch, but now it seems like an okay feature. But still, iPhones continue to be one of the best smartphone cameras. Even iOS 16 continues to provide more customization option, lock screen customizations, copy text directly from videos. And hey, fun thing, in the recent update, you can also dim the always on display. Apple customization in 2022, who would have thought of that? Also, the iPhone 13 and iPhone 12 series were discounted a lot and sold a lot during the Big Billion Day sale. But as an Android fanboy, you agree or not, iPhones are still quite good and it deserves the very solid tier. Next up, this is gonna hurt. Personally, I was a fan of Xiaomi and Poco phones. Xiaomi Redmi 2S was the first Xiaomi phone we bought in our house. Even the internet loves Poco F1. But in 2022, Xiaomi's performance has been below average. Now, they had a lot of issues with the Indian government and then management changes, which led to very few and average releases. Like the most popular Xiaomi series is Redmi Note series, and Redmi Note 10 Pro was a killer phone under 20,000. But this year, Redmi Note 11 Pro was pretty meh. And then problems started when the MIUI update started bricking phones. Like Poco X3 Pro had motherboard dead issues after the update. Twitter and YouTube was full of complaints. Even Poco had to accept it and give an additional 6 months warranty. Then next, Redmi Note 10 Pro camera dead issue after MIUI update. Same. Redmi again had to accept and give free replacement or repair. Considering lack of good launches and even bricking existing users, that didn't leave a good impression. So Xiaomi goes to the you know it, I know it tier, but I'm really hopeful because Redmi Note 12 series coming this January is expected to again be the best phone in the segment. Finally, let's talk about the most hyped company of 2022, Nothing. Like Nothing released their first ever phone, Nothing Phone 1 with this. It's called Glyph interface. Now, one thing even you would agree, it was overhyped. Or in Kalpi, the founder's own words, it's just a phone. Now, the phone was a mixed bag, a bit of hit and miss, like a good camera but software bugs, price hikes, then sale discounts. Even in TWS, the Nothing Ear 1 was good, but then again it received a price hike and it is out of stock now. Nothing Ear Stick is kind of overpriced, so for that, I would put Nothing in did the job tier. I mean, expected work from a first-time company. It can go in very solid, but I think as of now, it's a very new company. It needs more time, but it is doing good work. And also, along with Nothing, Google, the creator of Android. Google launched like a total of 3 phones, Google Pixel 6a, Google Pixel 7 and Google Pixel 7 Pro. It is still as good as previous phones, very good camera, faster Android updates, very little to marginal improvement, but they launched all the phones in India this year. One area where I feel Google can improve is service center and after sales support. Like there is only one official Google service center in India and I talk to them on WhatsApp. So if you have to claim warranty, you have to ship the device to them in Mumbai and they give it back to you after repairs. So even for small repair service like bad microphone, shipping the device and getting it back takes a lot of time. Also, if you compare to iOS 16, Android 13 update was pretty meh, but still I think Pixels are the best. So I think this might be controversial, but Google goes to the very solid tier. So that was it. If you like this video, you might also like this video where we talk about best Android UI you should be using right now. Here's a video for that. On that note, this is Pratik signing off. See you in the next video. Pew pew.